See if we got this going here. All right, let's get this going. Today we're going to look at some TikToks, shadow people, the Matrix, aliens, whatnot. Let's just get right into it. All right.
Did you know the FBI discovered dozens of gamers trapped inside a video game with their souls being sold to the highest bidder? In December 2023, federal agents raided abandoned subway tunnels beneath Chicago following reports of missing teenagers. What they found was beyond horrifying. Vincent Chen, known as Reaper, had been running illegal Halo tournaments promising $100,000 prizes. But the Xbox systems were modified with experimental technology that trapped players' consciousness inside the game. Dozens of comatose bodies lay connected to IV drips.
Yeah, right. This reminds me of Sword Art Online.
Medical examiners found brain activity patterns that shouldn't exist in living humans. Chen was selling these extracted souls as AI opponents to wealthy collectors. When agents tried disconnecting the main server,
it's a pretty cool story, but yeah, I've seen so many anime like this.
His screams echoed through the tunnels as his consciousness shattered from the overload. The tunnel filled with digital screams of freed souls. They never found all the missing players. Did you know the FBI discovered dozens of gamers trapped inside a video game with their souls being sold to the highest bidder? In December
2023, look into that.
You slam down a glass of hot water on an empty stomach, here's the crazy shit your body starts doing. Save this before you forget. First, your organs flip into deep cleaning mode. It's like calling a janitor squad for your insides. Hot water fires up the lymph flow, flushing out toxins, leftovers, and all that garbage you stuffed in at 2 a.m. Yelling,
all that
one
shit.
More slice. Second, fat starts melting. Yeah, that belly shit you're hiding.
Hot water? It's like, so you drink like hot tea in the morning?
Fuck, let's burn something, and starts torching fat before you even put on pants. Third, say bye to that morning brain squeeze. If your skull feels like it's in a fucking vice, chances are you're dehydrated.
All right, calm down, guy.
Than your landlord's wallet. Hot water opens him up, relaxes muscles, and suddenly you feel like a human, not a sack of misery. Fourth, digestion wakes the fuck up. Stomach fires on, enzymes get rolling, and later your food goes down smooth. No boulder in your gut. No, why the fuck did I eat that? Fifth, your skin throws a thank you party. Hot water detoxes you from the inside. Your face stops looking like a zombie's ass and gets that glow and tone back. Send this to your friend who still wakes up like a dried raisin. If every fucking morning you slam down a glass of hot water on an empty stomach, here's the crazy shit your body
some hot tea.
Stomach fires on, enzymes get rolling, and later...
An upside-down cone-shaped house can't stand on the ground, but if you cut off the very tip, it suddenly gains support and stands firmly, without reducing its usable space. This not only frees up a large open area, but also creates a massive rooftop garden. However, when the combined force of gravity and strong winds pushes beyond the base's limits, the house could still topple. To solve this, you combine 4 cone houses into one, inserting shared functions into the middle. The enlarged base makes it far harder to blow down. Then you raise 4 glass cores, each 20 meters tall, at the corners of the structure. From a distance, their blue-tinted glass blends with the sky, making the golden pyramid-like buildings seem to float. Finally, to enrich the roof's functions, you extend the cores upward, adding 2 levels of rooms at the center, and surrounding them with an open viewing platform. Congratulations, you've just designed the Tokyo International Exhibition Center.
That's a pretty nice looking building though. But it looks so simple, but it's probably so complex.
Nano Banana just got released by Google, and it's a new AI image editing model, which means you can give it an image or a number of images, enter a text, and it will go ahead and create a new image. But where it shines is its ability to keep the original footage intact and give you really high quality realism, which you couldn't get before. And when you take all of that and stack it,
the top is a male, the middle is a Simpsons, the bottom is a female,
in this video,
and they're all AI.
Nano Banana just got released by Google, and it's a new AI image editing model.
You don't know which one's real.
You can give it an image or a number of images, enter a text, and it will go ahead and create a new image. But
AI is getting so good.
Scientists have discovered that wisdom teeth contain stem cells, and not only that, but they're extremely high quality, and the stem cells extracted from wisdom teeth are like medical gold because they're able to treat multiple diseases. This is an unexpected outcome, but basically the additional stem cells come from the dental pulp, which is a little vascular pocket in the middle that keeps the tooth alive. It's all this, I'm going to zoom in if I can, it's all this soft tissue stuff here on the inside, the actual meat of your tooth, as it were, but the dental pulp contains a very, very large amount of valuable stem cells. Most importantly to the scientists, they were able to turn these pulp stem cells into electrically excitable neuron-like cells that could fire the voltage spikes that real neurons use to talk. So the stem cells from these wisdom teeth are especially useful at treating neurological disorders. They talk a lot of stuff here about Parkinson's and Alzheimer's.
I got my wisdom teeth taken out as a kid. I don't know if anyone else did.
Biobanks. These scientists are positing that if you extract a wisdom teeth and freeze the pulp in the teeth within 24 hours, scientists have discovered that wisdom teeth...
You can actually walk from one continent to the next, and I'm going to prove it today. Now, all Hebrews, I am not trying to disprove Deuteronomy chapters 28. I am not trying to disprove that you came into slavery with ships. That is not what I am trying to do. I am being a mediator between you and the 9 tribes, the Jews and the 9 tribes, Israel and Judah. There are people in America that call themselves native Indians.
I guess if you talk about that Asia, Alaska tip right there.
Are you watching?
Yeah, right there.
Let's go. Now, you walk from the United States into Canada, all the way to Alaska. And do you see this little gap right here? That gap was once frozen. Guess when? 2019. That's when it was unfrozen. That means it's been frozen for many, many years. You could literally walk from here on the ice over to Russia. Literally. This maritime boundary just got unfrozen.
Or you can make like a small boat. It looks like an easy trip.
From this water. It was frozen. They couldn't send no boats through there to make money. So if it's frozen, you would be able to walk across from Alaska, which is part of America, to Russia. And if it's not frozen, it would take you literally 1 hour to go across the waters to Russia. 1 hour. Family, and that's on a rowboat. Then you would literally walk into Russia, walk from Russia down to China, from China to India. You could walk from India to Iran, all the way to Iraq, all the way to this little piece right here, which is Israel. And do you see what's connected to Israel? Same little piece right there, Africa. Africa. You can literally walk from America to Africa. Now you want to go to Europe? Let's walk. Now let's walk to Europe. You can either take that route, which is water, or you can take this route again backwards, which is land. Now, if you took the route backwards, you would go through Saudi Arabia, Iran, up to Turkey. You know, Turkey right there. Walk all the way over to Europe. You can literally walk to Europe. Yes, you can walk to Europe from Africa. You can walk from Ukraine to Poland to Germany to France to Italy to Spain. Then if you want to go back to Africa, you just go across this little water right here. Even going to the UK, England is a simple boat ride. Simple boat ride. 1 hour, 2 hours, the most. My question is, 1 hour, 2 hours, the most. My question is this: if the Father said he split the earth in 6 parts and 7 is under the sea, then what if the whole of this that's still attached, by the way, is all one continent? I proved that you can walk from America to Africa. Shalom.
Pretty good.
Who's in control? Who was in charge of the CDC that was controlling and telling our government to shut down small businesses and what they recommend for the mandates of the vaccines and Pfizer and all? At the time when COVID was being enacted, I'm going to read off the staff of who was in charge of this CDC.
Man, this guy's got a lot of energy up there. He's like, who's going to be responsible for everything?
Deputy Director of the CDC, Anne Shawalchi, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. CDC Chief of Staff, Sherry Berger, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. CDC Chief Medical Officer, Mitchell Wolf, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. CDC director of the Washington office. This is pertinent to the topic.
This is all pertinent to the topic.
Yeah, this is pertinent to COVID. So, I love you, Jennifer. Yeah, please. So, director of the CDC of the Washington office, Jeff Rezek, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. COVID SAR, Jeff Zaitz, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. COVID senior advisor, Andy Slavitt, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Assistant of Health Secretary for Human Services for our country, the Assistant of Health Secretary, Rachel Levine, transgender, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew.
Can I ask that you hold off, Christopher?
Ma'am, I'm almost done.
Mr. Wood, the chair has ruled that your comments are out of order. She's asked you to stop. The chair has...
You said Jew. There's nothing wrong with Jew. It's not derogatory. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, keep on going. Head of Pfizer Vaccines, Albert Bourla, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Pfizer chief scientist, Michael Dost, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Moderna chief scientist, Paul Zaks, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. BlackRock, everyone know BlackRock? BlackRock CEO, Larry Fink, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. I said we're willing to sacrifice our ego, our reputation, and our lives. Yes, ma'am, and I love you, and I appreciate your patience. BlackRock president, Rob Capitale, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. The CDC chief medical officer of Johnson & Johnson, Joanne Waldstreicher, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Chief medical officer of Merck, Michael Rosenthal, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Head advisor of the World Economic Forum, Yuval Harari.
You can probably do that from the same religion.
All of the chain's fries are sprayed with an incredibly toxic pesticide.
Yeah, all this fast food is so shit.
That the fries cannot be safely consumed until 6 weeks post-spray. This investigation dug deeper and revealed this fact after the French fries
small fry goes right into a medium fry.
Found to contain substances that can cause cancer and even brain damage, in a discovery that came to light just recently. McDonald's only uses a very specific kind of potato in order to make their fries. This potato is known as the Russet Burbank potato, and they have a very thin, uniquely long shape that's responsible for creating the appearance of McDonald's fries we recognize.
The Russet Burbank potato, so if you want to make them at home, now you know how to make it without all the pesticide.
A kind of pesticide
Just
that's almost ridiculously toxic, which is
potato,
also known by its other name, methimidofos, comes with its share of shocking
Cut it up
side
yourself,
effects.
salt it
There
yourself,
have also been
cook
many
it at home
cases
yourself.
of poisoning as a result of monitor exposure. The symptoms of poisoning from this pesticide are pretty nasty. I guess that gives you one more reason not to eat food from McDonald's. It's been
This you know now, just go buy that Burbank
Joe
potato
Rogan
if you want that
is
taste.
Aleister Crowley. He never died, and he did not.
I heard this one before, but like I think it's a fucking
time
stretch.
Celebrities have resembled people from 100 years ago, and you might be
Stretch
wondering,
Armstrong
how
over
is
here.
this even possible? Could they be?
Look at his shirt
vampires?
too, beyond the
Literally
ice wall,
every
so you know he's
celebrity
willing to
has
believe
someone from the past that
anything.
they resemble, and it is not coincidence. In my expert opinion, I believe that some of them are vampires, but the rest of them have figured out a way to transcend mere mortality. They did this by mastering the ancient Egyptian art of Hermeticism and using the cerebral spinal fluid, also known as the seminal fluid,
Jacob's
which
ladder.
comes from the bottom of your body, and ascending it all the way up the spine into the pineal gland in the brain, causing the resurrection of the mind, of the cells, recreating every cell in the body so that you are now a young person again, because every 7 years all of the cells in our body regenerate. So they figured out a way to do that every 7 years, and they've been living everlasting life since then. Joe Rogan is Aleister Crowley.
This is everything that just happened on the news today, but I'm gonna simplify it for you in 60 seconds. The president just signed an executive order that says if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. So he signed this executive order that directs the Department of Justice to pursue
He's trying to
1
do
year in
that
jail
so
for those who
it doesn't
burn
incite a
American
riot.
flags. There are literally companies right now that are working on an AI app that uses AI to translate what your cat and dog is saying to you. Okay. So they're
That's
saying that
probably all
AI
cat.
tools are now being developed to interpret the sounds of cats and dogs with the goal of translating meows and barks
People
into
willing to
clear,
buy it are
human,
willing to buy it.
understandable
This
messages
is
for
money to be
worldwide
made.
users. Scientists have just managed to go 1 second back in time using a quantum computer. I'm gonna spare you all of the boring details. They said that this doesn't mean that time travel is gonna be available for humans yet, but it proves that the laws of physics can be manipulated at the quantum level. Whoa. These Chinese scientists are now developing a world's first pregnancy robot. They're saying that
Oh, I've seen this on Rick and Morty.
You can hire a humanoid that will cost you about $14,000 and they will carry your baby for you. A literal AI robot. Dude, this is actually real right now. I give you these news roundups every day, so make sure you add me and come back to me tomorrow.
Yep.
Do you know who the current vice president is?
So that she's fucking tweaking out.
Hillary Clinton. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. Can you name 3 countries in North America?
U.S.
Good.
China.
2. One more. One more.
Europe, I guess. No. Is it Europe?
Yes, 3. Nice. If it's Friday in New York City, then what day of the week is it
He's so
in
funny.
Mexico?
He's like, yeah, you're right.
Friday. Tuesday. Yes, you almost messed up. Do you know who the current vice president is?
If the Earth is flat, why do raindrops fall in random patterns that sometimes form perfect circles on the ground? On a globe, rain should be influenced by constant spin, rotation, and Coriolis effects. Drops should arc, tilt, or consistently drift eastward, but they don't. They fall straight down, forming rings of water on sidewalks, deserts, and fields that are perfectly symmetrical. Raindrops are nature's level testers. Builders use plumb lines and levels to prove flatness, because gravity supposedly pulls straight to the center of a globe. Yet raindrops betray that claim. If every drop fell to the globe's center, then over miles and miles, raindrops should tilt ever so slightly. Their straight down wouldn't all agree. But across continents, rain behaves as if down is universal, like falling onto one flat plane beneath. Even stranger, rainfall often arranges itself in repeating geometric shapes, arcs, spirals, and perfect concentric circles in mud or puddles. How can chaos create order unless the surface receiving it is designed flat? On a sphere, drops would splatter differently depending on tilt. But instead, puddles form universally flat circles everywhere on Earth. The raindrop pattern is more than weather. It's a constant, everyday reminder that water obeys flatness, not curvature. The next time it rains, don't just look up, look down. The proof isn't in the sky, it's at your feet. Drop a comment if you've ever seen raindrops prove what no spinning globe could. This video is for entertainment
purposes only.
Liquid metal can't break down a McDonald's cheeseburger. Just imagine what's happening.
Their burgers are
while your body's trying to break this down. We've all seen
Is that a selling point though?
McDonald's burgers that don't rot or mold when they're stored for years and years and years and years because of all the crazy preservatives and chemicals in here. Why would you guys consume this still? There is zero benefit, guys. Stop consuming this poison garbage. Like, it's literally poison. You don't need any more evidence. Stop being stupid. I love you guys. Peace. So, if liquid metal can't break down a McDonald's cheeseburger, just imagine what's happening inside of you while your body's trying to break this down. We've all seen the videos of the McDonald's burgers that don't rot or mold when they're stored for years and years and years and years because of all the crazy preservatives and chemicals in here. Why would you guys consume this still?
You put that inside your body.
Benefit, guys. Stop consuming.
I do sometimes.
Poison garbage.
Kids love that shit though.
Literally poison.
But yeah, it's fucking poison.
This man accidentally discovered a glitch in the game. As long as he lowered his appearance rating, he could gain extra attribute points, so he deliberately added a negative buff in the special settings. He changed interactions with girls to deduct 1/10 of his health per second. If he got to know them deeply, he would instantly drop dead. As a result, his experience gain rate skyrocketed to 10,000 times, and his attribute points surged to 100 trillion. Then, as the timer alert sounded, what Jack thought was just a prank actually transported him into the game world. The starting setting of minimum appearance shocked him. In contrast, everyone else who crossed over with him were attractive men and women. His ugly looks made people around him avoid him. Even his weapon was just an unwanted wooden stick. Just as he was about to push open the door and leave, he was ambushed by a goblin. Already angry, he swung the wooden stick down hard, but it didn't cause any damage. At that moment, Jack realized he hadn't had time to allocate his attribute points, so he went all out to defeat the enemy in front of him. The moment the goblin fell, Jack's level shot up to a terrifying level 31. Looks like the 10,000x experience boost kicked in. Meanwhile, his teammate who fought with all his might only reached level 2. Then Jack allocated 1 trillion points to every stat. It was this move of his that caused the system notification notifications to go wild. Eventually, the words Absolute God popped up. Just hearing the name
Did he
tells you
feel
how
like the
powerful
best
that
player
title
in the
is.
game?
Now, attacks on Jack felt like nothing at all,
Yeah, right.
and with a casual flick, he sent the goblin flying thousands of miles away. At that moment, Jack noticed the girl behind him. Seeing that she hadn't loaded her bow yet, Jack decided to help her out, relying on memories from watching videos in his past life, and his current precision stat of 1 trillion. Every arrow he casually shot after drawing the bowstring became an invincible spell.
Oh yeah, someone's a dragon. Just off
This
like
man
one
accidentally
bow.
discovered a glitch in the game. As
Pretty good glitch.
Hey,
in the game.
you got a second? You may think Flat Earth is stupid, but NASA? They sure don't.
August
aircraft model for a
1988.
rigid aircraft of constant mass flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Number 2 in this paper, the rigid body equation of motion over a flat, non-rotating Earth. This is a good one. The program, while maintaining its fidelity for the most maneuvers and applications, point mass modeling, non-turbulent atmosphere, 0 side forces, and a non-rotating Earth. Here's another one. I wonder what point A is. The Earth is flat and non-rotating. Wonder if that's why Obama was always like making fun of flat earthers, so like it would become like herd mentality. Also, like maybe us taking long distance photography photos 273 miles away. The top peak of these mountains that we're seeing is 3 miles high, okay? So there's 9 miles of missing curvature, so if you add the peaks of the mountain, that's 6 miles. The Earth's flat. For anybody with a conscience still, this should be obvious. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. And these guys are, yeah, stare at this picture too long. I know that they brainwashed everybody in school, like, no, everybody thought Copernicus, Pythagoras, we all thought that the Earth was a ball
Pythagoras
forever,
theorem,
man.
right?
No. Whoa, they lied. They lied to us. I'm sorry, they lied to you, they lied to me. All of our ancestors left us pictures, and none of them were drawn balls. Said it before, I will say it again. Something's going on at the North Pole. This is what our ancestors drew. And this is what I'm getting on Google Earth. No way in hell. Let me go check right now. Density, guys. Density, buoyancy, electromagnetism, observable, repeatable, measurable forces. Gravity is not holding Australians to the bottom side of an oblate spheroid that spins 1,000. No, just because Freemasons say it doesn't mean it's true. Seriously. Think about it. Lighthouses, right? You can see these things from like almost 100 miles away, dude. There's no way we're on a ball. That's 6,666 feet of missing curvature. Over a mile, man. They're laughing at you guys, okay? Yeah, you get it? They're laughing at you. That's a flat earth map. That's the UN logo.
Yes, all the time.
Look it up. This model defies the second law of thermodynamics every day, okay? Seriously, check out my link tree. Check out my Instagram. It's got my old videos.
Yeah, the
Follow
facts
me
are all
there.
there,
I just
though.
got banned.
Pretty good stuff.
Let's take a Mandela effect quiz. Now, of course, the Mandela effect is the theory that there are 2 different groups of people who remember things 2 different ways. How do you remember all of these? Let's first start with who this theory is named after, Nelson Mandela, who died in 2013. But so many people distinctly recall him dying in prison in the 1980s. Do you remember C-3PO being all gold or with 1 silver leg? Apparently the correct answer is he had 1 silver leg. Is it
Yeah.
Flintstones or Flint?
I've seen all these.
Evidently, it's Flint Stones. It just doesn't sound right. Cheez-It or Cheez-Its? If you said Cheez-Its, you're wrong. It's Cheez-It. Is this the right logo for Fruit of the Loom, or is this the right logo? According to the brand itself, it's this one. And yet I have seen so many pictures of the logo with a cornucopia. Was Pikachu's tail tip black or yellow? Now this one stumped me, but apparently it's always been yellow. Do you remember the Monopoly Man having a monocle, or do you remember him not? Because I guess in this universe, he did not. Is it Fruit Loops or Fruit Loops? I guess Kellogg has been spelling it wrong for years, and we just now noticed. Does your dad wear Skechers or Skechers? I guess they spilled the T, as it has always been Skechers. Follow for part 2. Let's take a Mandela effect quiz. Now, of course, the Mandela effect...
The grandfather paradox is one of the most famous puzzles of time travel. If you went back in time and prevented your grandparents from meeting, you would erase your own existence yet without existing. Who activated the time machine? This logical contradiction makes time travel seem impossible. To explore whether the paradox could be solved, scientists turn to Einstein's general relativity, which allows for strange space-time structures called closed time-like curves, CTCs. A CTC is essentially a loop in space-time that could, in theory, let someone travel back into their own past. Gödel's universe was the first model showing CTCs. In his idea, a rotating cosmos could twist space-time into loops. However, it doesn't reflect our real expanding universe. It's more of a mathematical thought experiment. Other candidates include spinning black holes, cosmic strings, wormholes, and Tipler cylinders, all of which might bend spacetime enough to permit time loops. But the paradox itself still demands an answer. Different scientists gave different solutions. 1. Hawking's chronology protection conjecture. Stephen Hawking argued the universe itself acts like a security guard, preventing paradoxes. Either the energy requirements for a time machine would be absurdly impossible, or random cosmic accidents would sabotage any attempt. His famous Time Traveler's Party, where he revealed the invitation after the event, was his playful proof. No one came, so time travel must not exist. 2. Novikov's self-consistency principle. Igor Novikov proposed that time travel is possible but self-correcting. You can't change history. Events will always adjust to remain consistent.
I can see
Attempts
this
to alter the
self-correcting,
past,
like
like
in the movie
stopping
The
your
Time Machine.
grandparents from meeting, will fail through coincidences, accidents, or even events that ironically ensure the outcome you tried to prevent. 3. Quantum mechanics and thermodynamics. Modern theories add another safeguard. Thermodynamics gives time a direction, since entropy disorder always increases. Quantum mechanics suggests that entering a time loop may reset you. Your body, memory, and existence revert to an earlier state. In this view, you don't create contradictions, because you effectively become your past self again. If you tried to interact with your younger self, either the universe prevents contact, or the future you is just a quantum copy, not truly causally linked. In every case, entropy and quantum rules act like locks that stop paradoxes from breaking reality. In summary, time travel through relativity and CTCs may be mathematically possible, but the universe seems to enforce rules that protect history. Whether through Hawking's prohibition, Novikov's self-consistency, or quantum thermodynamic resets, every attempt to change the past gets neutralized. The paradox never wins. The grandfather paradox is one of the most famous puzzles of time travel.
They weren't burning all the witches. They were burning all the midwives, healers, and women they couldn't control. This is how they cut us off from Earth and erased the divine feminine. And then they shipped off the children on orphan trains to repopulate a conditioned society. This was the reset. They erased our history and created a totally new system that they could control from the bottom up. They broke connection to natural wisdom and sovereignty. But here's the good news. They lost. Everybody is waking up and realizing that this system was built on erasing the truth. Everything in this system has taught parents to be disconnected from their children. And that is why I am so passionate about parenting with connection, truth, and sovereignty. This is our reset. That is what my guide, Awakened Parenting, is all about. You can find it in my bio. Let me know if you're in favor of this reset and follow for more. They weren't burning all the witches. They were burning all.
Yeah, I can see that.
Did you know the 1959 Antarctic Treaty wasn't about peace, but about hiding the greatest archaeological discovery in human history? When Admiral Byrd returned from Operation High Jump in 1947, something had changed. Within 12 years, 54 nations agreed to keep Antarctica completely off limits. Think about it. 54 countries agreeing on anything is impossible, yet they all signed away claims to a continent rich with oil, minerals, and resources. The alleged reason? Byrd's team discovered massive stone structures buried under miles of ice, hieroglyphs that matched no known civilization, technology that shouldn't exist. Notice the timing. Right after World War II, world powers suddenly cooperated on Antarctica. The same period UFO sightings exploded worldwide. Even today, satellite images of certain Antarctic regions remain classified. Why would peaceful scientific research require such secrecy? The chilling possibility remains that we're not Earth's first advanced civilization, and whatever lies beneath that ice was important enough to unite the entire world in silence. Did you know the 1959 Antarctic Treaty wasn't about peace, but about hiding the greatest archaeological discovery in human history? When Admiral Byrd returned
Yes,
from
it
Operation
was.
High Jump in 1947, something...
Yes, it was.
So the alphabet people are trying to cancel Snoop Dogg for saying this.
I took my grandson to see, what was the movie with, Buzz Lightyear?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
Oh, the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's
yeah,
called
with
Lightyear.
Kiki Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years, they move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women. How did she have a baby? Shh. Movie ain't over with. So it's like, it fucked me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for. It threw me for a loop. These are kids that we have to show that this age, like,
that part.
They're going to ask questions.
Yeah.
They are going to ask, I don't have the answer.
I don't see a problem with what he said. People want to take their kids to the movies to have a good time, not to get an agenda.
Yeah, I don't want to sit there and have to answer those questions. Like, why?
So the alphabet people.
F that.
Get the bill today and get in the cephalogram. What's that? That's the memory of your conscious mind. It's on the CD. Let's download it on this being. Now we got a walking, talking duplicate that has the total memory that you have, because we just took it off of your own mind.
Okay, it's like Blade Runner, the android.
Exactly. The only thing is that it's like this DVD recorder. Sometimes you have glitches in it, so you have to have them tuned up occasionally or redone. And so we take them to Camp David, or there's a wing at Bethesda Hospital to just tell you. If you go down there and check, you'll find the nurses, if they're willing to come forth, they'll tell you they work on those people, and they call them the others. I thought it was interesting. They're people. Remember, these people can think and act, but they don't have soul. That's also prophesized.
Right,
Soulless
that's
beings.
true. That's true.
Those are like the NPCs that don't really have a soul. They just like just react to shit.
I thought that was odd. So I said to myself, what's a cephalogram? I had no clue. And it says it's a specialized x-ray that takes a side profile of the head, providing detailed view and blah, blah, blah.
Those are the people you want to put in politics,
it's
so
an
you
X-ray
can
unit for basically
like
your
a puppet.
head, so to speak. So then I said, what's up with Camp David? He said, oh, we're taking to Camp David. I was like, let's see if there's anything fishy going on there. And look at this, 125 acres. Do you understand how large 125 acres is? And then look, codenamed Naval Support Facility Thermont. Technically a military installation, of course. Staffed by Seabees, Civil Engineer Corps, United States Navy, and United States Marine Corps. That's awfully fishy. Then I said, let me just take a look at a few of these. And I'm like, I love how we come out, or they come out with certain technology. We have no idea what it really does, and we just go sticking our heads in it under the guise that it's helping us. Like, does this look like normal? And I know what medical people are going to say.
I'm not really sure
Oh no,
what they
you're
really
just
do.
reaching again. I
It's
used
like-
that equipment multiple times. It really just takes an X-ray. Sure, it fucking does. Yeah.
Wipes out your memory or some shit.
I'd be lying if it didn't say it looked like these people were being like wiped clean. I just don't. It don't look right. It don't look normal. Don't look anywhere near natural, or like don't look like we should be in it experimenting. She got the little lead thing around her because she being blasted with the. I don't like this. And then as I was always thinking about it, look at this. They always show you in movies. What's going on here? Total Recall. If you're conscious now and you don't remember Total Recall, you need to go see
that
it.
movie. That's a good movie, though.
Recall is
even the
very,
remake was okay, but I remember Total. I like the
everything.
original with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Look.
That was a good movie.
I wouldn't be surprised if during this movie they swapped him out. Y'all remember this? What's going on here? Is it any different than what's going on here?
What's on here? These are all good movies, though.
You know he got White Plain, No Soul, and they put his consciousness back in there.
He remembered who he was, though,
A
eventually.
little bit of it. This is exactly what he's talking about. Look at that. Consciousness transfer. They always show you. And this is my favorite. Because you watched Avatar the whole entire time and you didn't peep what they were doing. Right?
Jake goes inside the Avatar body.
That motherfucker right there. No soul, right? Not indigenous. Dry as fuck, right? But what he wants to do is he needs to experience these people, their soul, their consciousness, what they feel. But he can't in that body. But he can if he transfers consciousness into that body. And then once the transfer is done, now all of a sudden he's got access to the beautiful indigenous princess. Because he's now downloaded his consciousness into an indigenous avatar. Although he's not, his consciousness is inside of here. And now you have a being that really doesn't understand her or her people on the deepest soul conscious level, but is in a body that allows them to have access to these people so that he can learn the ways of these people by being in the body and possessing the consciousness. I don't think y'all understand that they don't want to be in their body. They want to be in your body. Why do you think they came up with this? Why do you think Elon Musk is working on Neuralink?
There is no science. No progress without sacrifice.
What's that about?
You built an empire from the ground up. Mr. Hale, it's an honor. The man who built New York. People will insist that your buildings make you immortal. Now, as you slip away, do you feel immortal? We offer humanity's greatest minds more time to fulfill their potential. Designed to offer you the very best of the human experience. It's alive, an empty vessel. If we do this, there's no turning back. Your old life is over.
What's that?
Something to stop your heart.
What? It's something to stop your heart.
How are you feeling? How's that new body smell? Sense of humor. Good.
Just relax and have some fun. After all, at your age, I'd say you've earned it.
And you can have all of this. After all the hard work, you can have all of this. Money in the cars, clothes, you can have all of this. Fall up in the best club, you can have all the women.
You okay?
Fine. I just haven't seen anything like that in about 52 years.
It's all fake. None of it was real.
Has some side effects.
Hello?
How is this possible?
There is no science, no progress without sacrifice. I never wanted us to suffer. I gave you what Dad's life.
No! I did!
Soon I'll be gone. I can already feel myself fading.
They're all.
Yep.
That's $350.
It's I want to be Avatar.
Okay. That's $1,400 a month that you're gonna bring home. Okay, that's good. Okay, 1,400. Okay, so here we go. That's what you have. Okay, this is the money that you have. How much your rent cost? That's no $200 apartment. You can't even get a room. That's no $300.
It's like $250.
Yes. That's the average. That really is the average apartment is $800. That's the average apartment is $800. Okay, but let's just say you're gonna live in some of the older apartments. You're gonna wait a second. I'm gonna let you live in the older apartment. No, I'm gonna let you live in the older apartment, and they're $550.
Rent's not that cheap.
So now you have $500.
Rent's close to $2,000 a month. You want to live somewhere
You
nice.
gotta pay. Okay, so then your utilities.
She's being nice. She's being so nice to those bills.
Okay. So you still have to pay electric bill. Okay. So electric bill, I'm gonna say $120. So now you have $380. Okay. So out of the $380, what else bills do you have to pay?
Gas.
What cell phone? Gas for what? Gas for what?
For your food, like to make food.
Huh? For your what? Gas for your car?
Stove.
Oh, that's utilities. Oh. Okay, that's utilities. Yeah. So you say gas for what? Gas for your car? You don't have a car note up here. You don't have a car. You walking.
You ain't got no car.
Okay, so cell phone, food.
You walking.
What else?
Water.
You gonna buy some bottled water that's in your food. What else you have to have? You gonna buy some deodorant?
Yeah.
Some lotion?
Body wash.
A soap, all that. So we're gonna call those toiletries. What else you gonna have to buy?
Everything. That's what fucking everything needs can be like $800 right there.
Okay.
You got some food, groceries, all that shit. I ain't talking about.
Okay.
Some clothes.
How do you have a house with no Yeah, you get a phone. How you gonna get a phone before you can buy anything?
Okay, well, you graduated from high school and you got a cell phone.
You gotta get some health insurance.
Your room, okay?
Yeah.
You sleeping on the air mattress. Oh, wait a second. Unless you have furniture already, do you have a furniture bill? Because are you paying for the furniture? Or you just gonna sleep on the floor all the time?
Paying for the furniture?
Okay, cause you broke. You are broke. Okay, so watch this. Cell phone bill at least $50. So that's $330. Food, I would say you scrapping on eating, but I'm gonna give you $150 on food, because I spent $150 for me by myself. Everyday needs, you're gonna go to the store. Oh, see, like toilet paper, you have to have that.
Yeah.
Okay, so on everyday needs, I would say
$50, $60.
Okay, we'll do $60 for that. So that's $120, right? Okay, if you can you buy a pair of Nikes for $120?
Yes.
Okay, you can buy a Nike jacket, a Nike pair of pants, and some shoes for $120.
No, I'm buying them $1 clothes, gang. I'm not.
Where you getting some $1 clothes from?
Goodwill. Goodwill.
Okay, so raise your hand if you want to all the time get your clothes from the Goodwill. There's nothing wrong with Goodwill clothes. I'm telling you, it's a nice stuff there. But if you want to get them from there all the time, because I'm going to tell you the truth. Wait, let me tell you. Because the Nikes at Goodwill are going to have creases, okay? Yes.
Yeah, a pair of Nikes is $100.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with Goodwill. I'm saying, but that's where you're going to have to get. Oh, wait a second. Do you want to go on a date? Oh, you want to go? Oh, okay, wait a second. You have $120 that's left to buy clothes. The girls, they not going to go on a second when you got that right. Okay, so here's the deal. You can't ride to the Sonic. You can't go to the Sonic. You can't go to Walmart. Second, I forgot. You got sick and your throat was hurting. And now you got to go to the, you going to the doctor, but you don't have insurance because you don't work 40 hours a week, so you don't have insurance. So you're going to have to pay the doctor the $50 doctor visit, and then he's gonna give you a prescription that's gonna cost $10. Okay, and wait a second. Your friend charged you $10 to take you to the doctor and to the pharmacist, and so where's your money? You don't have any money, do you? No.
That's $70 right there.
So you're broke. Do you know why I did this?
So that we can take care of our money.
It's not a bad job. Listen, it's not a bad job, but guess what you need? You need a better job. You need a better job than making $10 an hour. Do you understand? When I was growing up, my first job I made $3.35. If you make $10 an hour, you
damn, $3.35 shit.
You can't
trash.
do good on. I just showed you. Did I just show you? And right, exactly. By the time you graduate, that's not gonna make anything. Look at me. When I am here and I am trying to help you learn, I'm trying to help you be a better earner, a better learner. A better learner becomes.
Bitch.
Y'all better not do no crime because your
Trying.
president, he about
People
to
ain't
lock
gonna
your
listen
ass
now.
up and keep you in jail. So today, Trump just signed an executive order to end cashless bail in Washington, D.C., and he plans to implement this nationwide. So that means that regardless if you have the bail money or not, your ass is staying in jail until trial or until that station or whoever want to release you. So let's see what the orange man have to say.
But that was when it happened. Somebody kills somebody, they go in, don't worry about it, no cash, come back in a couple of months. We'll give you a trial. You never see the person again. And, I mean, they kill people and they get out. Cashless bail. They thought it was discriminatory to make people put up money because they just killed 3 people lying on a street. Any street all over the country, cashless bail. We're ending it. But we're starting by ending it in D.C., and that we have the right to do through federalization.
And there you have it. It will be ended. And I can see both sides of it. I can see the pros and cons. You know, one of the pros would be this would keep rich people from
trying to keep that
committing crimes
capital
and then
green.
just
You
paying
see-
their way out.
see what he's
But
doing
on
all
the
that?
flip side of that, poor
It's
people,
got, like, the military
it doesn't matter if they
there.
have the money or not. If you are innocent, you're gonna be sent.
I have my my theory behind
A
why.
globe or a flat Earth map or the old ones, you gotta see this. Like I said, I don't care what type of map you use. The bottom line is, in all of them, it looks like at some point South America and Antarctica were once connected, and you can see it here, up there, and there. And if you look all the way back to the 1587 Montes map, you can see they did connect. Here's just a little different look from the same map and a closer view from the same map. It's connected. And when you take a closer look on the maps, it almost looks like something blew this out, okay? Like they were connected and something came through and blew that out, right? Well, have you ever gone to look at that area on the satellite imaging? Do you see what I'm seeing here?
The snake.
As in a giant snake's head? Do you see that? And I checked this on multiple sources. At first I thought maybe it was just CGI that they were...
You can go on Google Earth. You
this
can probably
in the
just look
maps.
it up.
But now I'm starting to think it's really there. It's even in the non-globe satellite imaging.
Where are these companies getting all this chicken from? I mean, enough is enough. We all have to come into agreement that they are not selling us real chicken. Let's do some simple math. Think about how many fast food restaurants you have in your zip code. Now multiply that by 50 states, and when you're done doing that, multiply that by 1 million, billion, whatever. And the end results to the equation
Million,
is that they're
billion,
selling us
whatever.
moose knuckles. They are selling us camel and raccoon remains at this point. Or it could be the Soylent
It's
Green
chicken bone,
conspiracy, but
probably.
I'm not even going to get into that. All I know is that these fast food restaurants keep dropping chicken items every week. And it's just not possible. There's almost 300 million people in the United States. There is not that many chickens in the farm. I'm sorry, there's no way. Think about the lifespan of a chicken. It's not like a chicken is born today and you could eat it tomorrow. They gotta concubate, they gotta be in their mother's pouch, they gotta grow up a little bit. And this is on an everyday basis. 365 days in a year. I'm gonna be generous and say 50% of the population know that this is not real chicken. But obviously, as a society, we're losing to these corporations. They're still making billions a year. But now we gotta start calling it for what it is. Where are these companies getting all this chicken from? I mean, enough is
I
enough.
think
We
it's just chicken bones.
They told you it was a
being
plague,
ground up.
that rats carried it, that it swept through villages uncontrollably. But if you look closer, none of it adds up. Half of Europe gone, yet no proper burial sites. No consistent symptoms. No preserved mass graves in most cities. Just bones, moved, arranged, ritualized, like the Paris catacombs, like the ossuaries in Prague, Vienna, and beyond. And somehow, right after all this death, a sudden renaissance. New kings, new systems. New maps. Almost like the old world had to be erased to install a new one. Because the truth is, the Black Death wasn't just a sickness. It was a cover story for a reset, an atmospheric event, a thinning of the veil, a war we weren't allowed to remember. And the plague doctors with their strange beaked masks, they weren't treating people. They were recording something, collecting something. And they disappeared too. Ask yourself, why were so many children left behind after the plague? Why are the records blank? Why are the rulers of that time so hard to verify? Because what really died wasn't just millions of people. It was memory itself. The Black Death was the blackout event. And it's only now that we're starting to remember.
A lot of questions. Why?
But look at this, guys. I found something very
Makes you wanna think,
interesting.
though.
You see Trump's right hand, how it has a massive bruise on it? I want you to watch this video
'Cause he's old?
when I saw this, I believe that he intentionally showed this. Notice how this is a very unnatural way to hold your hand. Now you be the judge.
And come to think of it, there's your trophy for the World Cup. And come to think of it, there's your trophy for the World Cup.
Now, was it just me or was that intentional? Now, this is very interesting because there's a couple things that I want to show you. Notice how this was on the Queen's right hand, the same hand that Trump has the bruise on. And this was a few days before her passing. I'm also a little bit of a Harry Potter nerd, and this reminded me of Dumbledore's black hand, his diseased black hand on the right hand as well. Now, apparently this bruise is from a handshake, and I don't know if you're shaking hands with Thanos or the Hulk, but that makes no sense. Now, he's sitting with his fist tightened, drawn out, and closed. This is not an accident, guys. In occult symbolism, when something is shown like this, it's from a secret disclosure. This is only for the people that have eyes to see. Now, I'm not going to go too deep on the symbology of what this means because I'll probably get banned, but it's definitely tied into some sort of occult symbolism, tying into some sort of rituals, things like this.
Could be.
Just my opinion, strictly for entertainment purposes only, of course.
Maybe you just need some more water.
Did you know that quantum physicists started dying in locked rooms after claiming they spoke to their other selves?
Yeah, he was there with Triple H.
Dr. Hugh Everett presented his many worlds theory at Princeton University. He proposed infinite parallel universes where every possible outcome happens at once. This Nobel Prize winner's protege had just changed physics forever. But by 1962, quantum researchers studying parallel worlds began dying mysteriously, all found dead in sealed rooms with no signs of struggle. Each victim left notes about crossing over and calculations for interdimensional travel. Colleagues reported the deceased claimed they communicated with alternate versions of themselves. Security footage showed them talking to empty spaces hours before death. The bodies were discovered twisted in impossible positions, as if pulled through solid matter. Surviving physicists shared identical nightmares about their other selves trying to break through. Then classified documents surfaced revealing successful parallel universe contact before the deaths began. The government quietly shut down all quantum research into parallel worlds. The death pattern was never explained, but this wasn't the only cover-up they buried. Follow for more stories like this.
I don't know what that was
Inside
about.
wigs, fleas and lice thrived. The fat went rancid, drawing
That's so
maggots.
gross.
Queen Christina of Sweden once removed her wig during a council meeting, and witnesses saw a river of lice spill down her scalp. She laughed and called them subjects who never abandon their queen. Wigs were rarely cleaned. Instead, they were dusted with powder made of flour mixed with lead. So on top of crawling insects and rotting fat, these women inhaled clouds of poison. One French duchess leaned
So
forward at
nasty.
dinner, and maggots tumbled from her wig onto her plate. She calmly brushed them aside and continued eating.
Oh, these
At
little
night, wigs
things.
were set on stands, where rats came to gnaw on the fat and flour. In the morning they were powdered again and placed back on infected, sore-covered scalps.
So gross.
The outer gowns.
Never ever leave your bathroom door open. An open bathroom door is just as harmful as keeping the toilet lid open. In Feng Shui, water represents wealth, and the toilet is considered the biggest drain of energy in your home, always keep your bathroom door closed to prevent positive qi from flowing out of your home. If you want me to check your home, Feng Shui, you can add my contact on my profile. Never ever leave your bathroom door.
Pink slime is now officially ground beef. What's pink slime? Let me show you. This crap up here that they add to hamburger. Watch this and see for yourself, Pushkis.
Gerald Zernstein grinds his own hamburger these days. Why? Because this former USDA scientist, now whistleblower, knows that 70% of the ground beef we buy at the supermarket contains something he calls pink slime. Beef trimmings that were once used.
Oh, that's pretty cool. You just ground your own beef up. He was like, I work in the company. I'm not eating that shit that we put out there.
It was Zernstein who, in a USDA memo, first coined the term pink slime, and is now coming forward to say he won't buy it.
It's economic fraud. It's not fresh ground beef. It's a substitute. It's a cheap substitute being added in.
Zernstein and his fellow USDA scientist Carl Custer both warned against using what the industry calls lean, finely textured beef, and is widely known now as pink slime. But their government bosses
Oh, it's like the good shit in the store. Oh no.
Because it was a salvage product. Leftovers, fat that had been heated at low temperature and the excess fat spun out.
Here's how it's done. Those waste trimmings are gathered, simmered at low heat to make it easier to separate fat from muscle, put in a centrifuge and spun to finish the separation. Next, the mixture is sent through pipes where it's sprayed with ammonia gas to kill bacteria, and finally compressed into bricks and flash frozen for shipment to meat packers and grocery stores where it's added to most ground beef. And it doesn't have to appear on the label because over objections of its own scientists, USDA officials with links to the beef industry labeled pink slime meat.
Ew! I guess you really never know what you're eating.
This
Yeah, they pay those
17-year-old
scientists.
destroyed her entire future in just 30 seconds. At only 17, Emma Renee Smith racked up $8.1 million in damages.
Damn,
and now
talk about
faces serious
speed run your
charges of
life.
arson and felony property destruction.
Well, I'm gonna
because
end
of
it all
what she did
today.
inside a Walmart. Surveillance footage captured Emma in the fabric and crafts aisle, where she lit a piece of fake greenery on fire. The flames spread quickly, causing chaos and panic. Emma ran out of the store along with the fleeing crowd. Local patrol officers responded immediately.
That should piss you
They
off,
grabbed
that
fire
pink slime in your
extinguishers and
beef.
rushed into the Walmart, helping evacuate customers.
I didn't know about
until
that. You know, you
firefighters
look at it and it
arrived
says
worked with
like
police to put out the fire.
85,
Officers then
90%
spoke to the
lean
store
or whatever.
owner, who said the
And
blaze may
you
have
think,
started
oh,
from
that's
the
cool.
kitchen
Maybe a
of the
little bit of
plant.
fat in there or
After
whatever.
reviewing the footage,
No,
police
no,
quickly
no.
identified the suspect
You're getting
as
pink
Emma. They
slime.
went to her home
It's
to
probably
question
really
her.
only
At
50%
first,
lean.
Emma denied everything, but once the officers laid out the facts,
Yeah,
the pressure
eat
got
steak.
to her, and she finally
Straight up.
confessed. She said
Now
she
they
faced
mold that
police
too with like
told her the costs were
meat
far
glue,
beyond anything she
but
could cover. Emma was taken
I don't
into
know about
custody.
that pink
This
slime shit. That's a
17-year-old girl
lot.
destroyed her entire future in just 30 seconds. At only
Yeah, eat that steak.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to take a look at this German flat earth map in detail. I got the translations. I'm going to read them for you guys as well as display them on screen. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to follow the page, like and share the video, and leave a comment to move the algorithm around.
It's not a
Turn on
bad
the
idea though to
notifications
start
for similar
grinding your own
videos on
beef
the front of
though.
my channel.
Get one of those things and grind
This
them
image
up.
has been floating around
And then you
for a
get
while
attachments
now,
to
so
it where
some
you
of
can make your
may be
own
aware of this, some of you may
sausage.
not. So I do thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy. Now, there are Bible verses included on this map, as well as some verses from the
Yeah,
book
go
of
buy some
Enoch,
like
as you guys can
real
see.
high quality
So let's
steak,
start with
grind
the
up,
top left
and make
corner
some real
section,
good
and the
burgers.
main text reading underneath the larger square with the picture of
That
the
sounds
moon
like a
inside
plan
of
right
it.
there.
Here it reads, Enoch, section 4, chapter 18. Quote, "And I saw the container of all winds, and I saw how he adorned the entire creation with them, and made the foundations of the earth stable. And I saw the cornerstones of the earth, and saw the four winds that bear the earth, and the firmament of the heavens. And I saw how the winds stretched out of the height of the heavens, and they hovered between heaven and earth. These are the four pillars of the heavens. And I saw the winds that turn the heavens, that make the circle of the sun, and all the stars set." And inside that square, it reads Das Unbekannte, and I might be butchering that name, but that translates to the unknown, which could possibly potentially.
So this is from like a German book.
Areas that haven't even been explored by the royal elites. And then we
Just
have
had
the smaller
ChatGPT
square
translate
section.
that shit for
If
you
you
real
look
quick.
closely at the four corners of that square, it has 4 S's, indicating that south is every direction opposite of the North Pole, the magnetic north. And the top text reads, the 4 winds, or the 4 forces, at the 4 corners of the Earth create a magnetic vortex which causes a clockwise rotation at the prime meridian or the axis mundi,
Oh
which is
no,
the magnetic
the
center,
swastika in
magnetic
the
north.
sky.
And then below that smaller square, the bottom text reads, due to rotation, there is a shift of the magnetic pole that follows the direction of the red arrow, supposedly. Now, this is where I want to actually make my contradiction, because through my understanding and my studies, that the movement of that magnetic north, that according to this map, it's saying that it moves clockwise according to that arrow. However, through my understanding, it's backward precession. So through my studies and my understanding, it's backward proceeding through the zodiacs. So my understanding is that it's moving counterclockwise. Now, some people are going to actually disagree with that. However, that's just what I've come to understand.
Yeah, so it'll probably take a while for the sun to get to the other side, right? And then they're gonna have a conspiracy about us over here.
The most disgusting custom of the Middle Ages. In 1533, during a ceremony celebrating Anne Boleyn's coronation as Queen of England, she gracefully smiled and toasted guests while swaying her skirt to show off her noble poise. What no one could see was that underneath her large skirt, 2 ladies in waiting were crouched, one holding a bowl to catch the Queen's waist, and the other with a handkerchief ready to clean her. Wealthy individuals would import human excrement from other countries to brush their teeth. Nobles dined with utensils
Like, who
covered
sold
in
that
snot,
shit to them?
and kings would perform enemas
So
publicly
shit,
during
yeah.
morning meetings.
Yeah,
Versailles,
Constitution.
with all its grandeur, was once essentially a massive cesspit. At its peak, the palace housed over 36,000 people, but it only had 29 toilets, meaning waste frequently overflowed and spilled throughout the palace. Eventually, the queen grew concerned about hygiene and ordered all the toilets to be closed. This led to another problem. No noble women had to use their large hoop skirts as cover, finding hidden corners to relieve themselves, which is why most noble women in the Middle Ages didn't wear underwear. Over time, the solution for waste disposal became dumping it into the river. Centuries
in the
later,
river?
London's Fleet River had turned into what is now
And
Fleet
these are the
Street.
people that built
Meanwhile,
those
the French
giant
devised a
Tartarian
different method,
buildings, right?
building high walls around cities and throwing all their trash on the other side. However, when war came, these mountains of waste often provided enemy forces with an easy.
Just throw a shit at them.
Kanye West was absolutely right when he said what he said about Kim raising his kids on her own. We've all seen the pictures by now, right? Northwest and Kim Kardashian in Rome at Kim Kardashian's special dinner, right? And we're all shocked. We see the 30-inch bust down weave, turquoise and blue, right? We see the corset pushing up this young lady's body parts, which is absolutely insane to me because I have a 11-year-old and she's 12. Northwest is 12. Let's start there. Now, I examined the pictures. Pause. I examined the pictures and I think that it's the corset that's overdoing it, right? I really do, because
Obviously, look how tall it is.
I've seen
That's
other
crazy.
pictures where she's wearing the 30-inch bust down and she's completely covered up. It looks kind of crazy because it's a 12-year-old with a long ass weave, but it's not really too much, right?
Oh,
But these pictures that are going viral,
Don't really care.
Will Smith used AI to make it look like cancer survivors and huge crowds came to his shows. Will Smith recently released a hype video about how much he loves seeing his fans on tour.
That's how you know. Tell me you're an old man without saying you're an old man.
Anyone on tour.
You look at these photos and go,
now we get to the fake
that
cancer
looks good.
survivors.
People will just buy
I
that.
couldn't find too many issues with these presumably fake cancer survivors. But then I saw this woman right here. Now either she had just swallowed a fat frog, or she has Lucas's disease, a rare disorder where your body gives you George Lucas-like jowls within a fraction of a second. This is the most upsetting part of all this to me. Exploiting people's emotions by pretending these AI cancer survivors showed up to your show is absolutely disgusting and incredibly disheartening. Makes you feel kind of gross, huh? How do you feel about all this? Let me know in the comments. Will Smith used AI.
Did he even have a show or a concert? What is this even real?
Hi, here's another list of things I find worthy of revolution. Number 1, having a baby in America is over $40,000, but in Japan it's $15. Revolution. Number 2, companies saying that raises aren't in the budget this year, despite the fact that this is the 10th year of all-time high profits. How about revolution? Number 3, insurance companies deciding how long they think a surgery should take. So if your surgeon goes over the allotted time, taking their time, doing a good job, insurance is going to charge you for that extra time. That leads to bad outcomes. Revolution. Number 4, the rent being the same for 31 days than it is for 28 days. That doesn't make sense. Revolution. 5, adoption being a billion-dollar industry. You know what that reminds me of? Revolution. Number 6, being the land of the free, but we rank 17th in freedom. That's hilarious. Revolution. Number 7, how quickly politicians were able to agree on banning TikTok, but not able to agree on releasing the Epstein files. I think we know why. Revolution.
Revolution.
Number 8, needing a GoFundMe to fund life-saving medical procedures. Only in America. Revolution.
Revolution.
Can't believe that it's almost been a month of these videos, and I am nowhere near the end of my list. So continue to put your reasons that I missed in the comments. Thank you. Also, this is my website. You guys asked for a list, so I put...
Oh, there's
Did
so
you know
many
a
reasons.
black janitor with no medical degree secretly developed the heart surgery that saved thousands of babies? In 1930,
That's
Vivian
good.
Thomas
Yeah,
was
good on
hired
him.
as a janitor at
Congratulations.
Johns Hopkins Hospital. But what the hospital didn't know was that this man
I like that guy,
possessed
too. That guy's pretty
extraordinary
funny.
surgical skills. White doctors began quietly consulting him on the most complex procedures. Working
Revolution.
in a basement laboratory with improvised tools, he developed something revolutionary: the Blalock-Taussig shunt, a surgical technique that redirected blood flow in infants born with heart defects. These babies, called blue babies, were dying because their hearts couldn't pump blood properly. Thomas perfected the procedure through countless experiments, teaching himself advanced cardiac surgery. When the first operation was performed in 1944, he stood behind the white surgeon, guiding every cut. The surgery was a success,
Yes, sir.
and thousands of blue babies were saved. Here's the most incredible part. Thomas went on to train over 150 cardiac surgeons.
Oh,
Many
yeah.
of them later received Nobel Prizes for techniques he actually invented. A janitor became the father of modern heart surgery. Did you know?
That's pretty cool.
This lady in Congress apparently was suing Starbucks because they weren't listing the ingredients on their drinks.
Oh, gosh.
And the pumpkin spice latte had the active ingredient of ammonia in it.
Oh!
Why?
They use it for food coloring.
No
To make it
way.
orange. Yeah, so...
There's gotta be a better way.
In Europe, they list the ingredients and they use, I believe, carrot or beets or something. It's like a natural food coloring. But the U.S. Starbucks was using an ingredient that included ammonia in the pumpkin spice lattes to make them orange.
This is from Yahoo.com. It says there's no pumpkin in it. However, the latte included 2 doses of caramel color level 4 with ammonia and contains the substance 4-methylamidazole.
What are we doing? Why?
Revolution.
Everyone's dying of cancer. Because we're drinking ammonia. Yeah, and that's on purpose. That has to be on purpose.
Because it's the cheaper option.
And there's no way they just cut it out. It's the middle of fall. You know how many millions of gallons they have of that stuff, probably? They're not getting rid of it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I got pumpkin spice lattes.
This lady in Congress apparently...
The rumors were true. Google just officially dropped Nano Banana. And we have another holy
Oh, yeah, Nano Banana is
on our hands because
fucking
it's an
crazy.
AI image model that delivers professional level
We're
Photoshop
done,
edits in
like,
seconds.
it's getting so good now.
GPT and everything else on the market. As an example, I can feed it any combination of images and ask for
Boom, there
anything
they
I
are.
want with perfect character consistency. We can relight images, create new angles from existing scenes. We can change facial expressions, add specific clothing, weather, change appearances, whatever we can imagine. Now listen, and you could always do this with VFX or Photoshop, but to be able to match
And they can do it
lighting
with video
and this level
too.
of consistency, I mean, this was an extremely specialized skill. Now everyone and their mama can do it by just typing in natural language. If you want to try Nano Banana, it's available on FreePic, which I recommend because they're the homies, but also as a Premium Plus and Pro user, you get unlimited generation. So another leap in Gen AI. Personally, I think everybody should be aware of the progress in this space to understand that not everything you see on the internet, you should believe. Let me know what you think of Nano Banana. I'll see you soon.
That's really good.
Bill Gates declares the end of the smartphone era and unveils its surprising replacement. Replacement? No more smartphones. What's he going to replace it with? Electric tattoo. Wait a minute. We're gonna have phones on our hands instead? That looks familiar. That looks extremely familiar. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah,
Bill Gates
I'm not
declares-
getting a tattoo. That's not
So
happening.
they're coming from out there and they look like humans. They can mess with women and have offspring. They can sit and have dinner with you. And they look like good and handsome men. But they're not from here and they're not men. They just look like men. That begins to make sense to me that perhaps what we are seeing today in the Middle East having to do with the Iraq, which Iraq was originally hundreds of years ago called Persia. Persia was called before that Chaldea. Chaldea before that.
They're
was
like the
called
Prince of
Babylon.
Persia, right?
So
Get
what
that
we're talking
dagger,
about is
then
the
go back in
king of
time.
Babylon. Now it begins to look like what's going on here is that our world is being run by very powerful men who care nothing whatsoever about human creatures. Do you care and worry yourself sick when you go to Kentucky Fried Chicken and think about how many innocent families were broken up, how many chickens had to die? You couldn't care less. They're just chickens. They're just animals. And so consequently, I think that the sons of God, the Elohim, Anunnaki, I don't care what name you give them, they are still here. I am totally convinced that we are
And where are
now
the
seeing
chickens?
in the Middle East.
Oh,
with the United
no.
States government doing what it's doing.
Do you
with
know
the
what we
rest of
do
the
to
world
chickens?
Preparing for something.
What they do to us.
Zohu. I think what we're actually seeing is a
Think about fried chicken.
profound, awesome, terrible tribulation coming when the gods are going to battle like two men fighting over a woman. The gods are going to battle for the ownership of us. And consequently, when you understand that Saddam Hussein is Persian, Persia is Chaldean, Chaldean is Babylon. And we're talked in the Bible is filled with, in the book of Genesis and all the way through to Revelation, talks about how the gods of Babylon were to be cursed. And they
He's
were
basically
evil,
saying
and
that
the good God was
the
going to
aliens
destroy
that will be
Babylon.
showing up
I
here
think
in the
what we're seeing
spaceship
right
on
now is
the Atlas,
Israel,
whatever,
America,
will be
England,
good
when you begin to look at the
aliens.
symbols, the words,
I can
the
see that there.
terms,
Good.
the national coats of arms,
So-
the seals of nations, listen to what the president is saying. I am totally
We'll see.
convinced
I don't really give a shit.
for my own self, and I've
I
been
still gotta
looking
pay
at this
rent.
for over 40 years.
Still
I'm
got
totally
fucking
convinced
bills
what's going on
due.
right now is that
I got
the
kids to
president of the
feed. I don't
United
got
States
time to
has
worry
no
about
control
over anything. Aliens or politics. I don't got time for all that bullshit.
Going on is there are
The goal was to
very
keep us
powerful,
distracted,
awesome
so we
creatures
can't worry
on
about
this earth that look like
Congratulations.
men, and they act like men, and they can eat
I don't
with
give a
you,
fuck.
but they are not normal human beings.
Cool.
These people are despotically powerful, murderous.
Are
in
they
their
bulletproof?
intent. They don't care a thing about human life because they
Are they
created-
fireproof?
They don't give a damn about nations, races, children, family values. That's all.
Are they
crap for them.
explosion-proof?
They created this creature called man. They are in a whole different world. than we are. They don't see the same things. Their technology is
Oh,
so
good.
far
So they don't
above
see the
us.
same things that we see,
Their
so they're not going to see
understanding
it coming.
of human creation is so far above anything we understand. They are, as far as we're concerned, gods. Consequently, I think that what we're seeing now is a war between the gods, and consequently, tohu.
How about a Marine in a ghillie suit? Will they see that?
That we're going to see in the next 2.5 years trouble like we have never seen it before. It's frightening, the implications of what I just think.
The sky is high. Yeah.
Gods, when they're at war. You like war and you like bloodshed. Well, stick around. Now you're going to see how the gods do it. You look. America loves all these war movies. Good. Stick around. You're going to really want to see this one, because the gods are going to show you what war is really all about.
Well, they talk about this in the betas. This has happened before. Nothing's new.
Children and only dropping bombs on military.
Chariots of fire, they say.
They don't give a damn about none of it. They're here to do one thing, and that is control and take ownership of us, their creation. Incidentally,
own us, like
if the concept
for
that
what?
I have outlined, that we creatures, we humans, are actually the offspring of the gods, or some kind of a mating action between the extraterrestrials or the Elohim, Anunnaki, the ancient gods.
I hope they didn't come here to mate, because bitches are crazy.
If there is any validity to this concept that extraterrestrials who came from heaven, yeah, of course, if they came here and they said, come, let us create man or make man in our image and our likeness, you've got a very interesting situation here. You have Neanderthal or hominid creatures, and we haven't even discussed where the hominid creatures came from. We're not even dealing with that. But you're talking about an extraterrestrial life forms that look like us, and they have come here from another world, from another place in time, and they are attempting to procreate.
I agree with that.
Indigenous creatures that are here.
They'll come down,
and consequently, their DNA and their system, their body system,
it's going to be so much different.
Is so superior to ours, and yet they are smart enough to know how to blend our DNA.
Oh, like in that movie, Dude, Where's My Car?
Is this how we got today? The Yetis, Abominable Snowman, the Yetis. What are some of the other terms that are used for those creatures? What is it? Bigfoot. Yeah, Bigfoot, the Yetis, whatever.
What was it I'm thinking of?
Hominid creatures. They walk
Bigfoot.
on two legs like male. They
snap into a Slim Jim.
Openly declare that you are God operating in human form. 2,000 years of conventional religious interpretation have convinced billions otherwise. When Moses asked for the divine name, the answer was I am. Exactly the
Escape
same
awareness out of Hollywood.
Literally. Jesus stated, before Abraham was I am, and I and the Father
There's a
are
lot
one,
of text
revealing
on
that
this
you and the
screen
creative
here.
power of the universe are identical. The very scriptures they read every Sunday
I don't want to be
scream the
here.
truth.
Get
The
out.
kingdom of heaven is within you. You don't need a connection with God because you are the divine consciousness itself pretending to be limited. That constant fear of failure you cultivate, it's shaping your future right now. Do you accept the feeling of scarcity as normal? It's programming your bank account. You were trained from childhood to look for God outside, to pray to something external, to ask permission to exist.
Probably
fully.
some
But
AI
you need to understand
gobbledygook.
the exact mechanism by which your feelings become your reality, because most will die without ever discovering that they always had the power to create any life they desired.
I want to be a millionaire yesterday.
You are God experiencing
Oh,
life
guess
through a human
not.
body, but you have spent your entire existence searching for a connection
Yeah,
with an external
space ran out of
divinity
space.
that never existed separate from you. The scriptures
I've seen that.
themselves declare this truth.
I like campy
Although
movies.
2,000 years of biased translation and dogmatic interpretation have obscured the obvious. When Moses asked for the divine name at the burning bush, the answer was, I am that I am. precisely the same consciousness that you experience now while reading these words. That fundamental certainty of existing prior to any identification with
I
being
am
form
that I am
constitutes
that I am.
the divine presence operating through human experience. Not
Sam,
a
I
spark,
am. I
not
am.
a connection, but the total creative power of the universe, manifesting as individual consciousness. Neville Goddard exposed this mechanism without ambiguity in Feeling is the Secret. Consciousness is the one and only reality, not figuratively, but literally. Every object, person, and circumstance in the physical world represents states of consciousness, crystallized into apparent form. The observer creates the observed, not poetically, but operationally. Jesus Christ stated, "The kingdom of heaven is within you, and I and the Father are one," revealing not a special condition of his own, but the nature of all human consciousness. When
More
understood
AI.
literally, these declarations destroy the religious power structure built
See
upon
how
the
this
premise of
goes
separation
here.
at the base of the spine, destined to eventually rise through the energy centers until it explodes in the skull, revealing the glorified form
1984
of
Macintosh
human face
commercial.
and hands, but transcendent in power and wisdom. This is not esoteric symbolism.
Today we celebrate the first glorious anniversary of the information purification directives.
Oh yeah, I've seen this one.
In all history, a garden of pure ideology, where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests of anger.
This is back when they were edgy and they were good.
Is more powerful a weapon than any fleet.
Now Apple products are shit.
We are one people.
They don't have Steve anymore backing it up with all his theories, getting high in the desert. Now it's just a fucking corporation. It's boring. Apple is now the actual screen. When it used to be, you know,
January 24th, Apple
it used to be cool.
will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why
Macintosh.
1984 won't be
Then they changed it to the Mac.
84.
iMac.
Today we celebrate the first
It's pretty crazy.
I've finally saved enough to settle down and live the American dream.
Listing price is $500 million.
Here it is. This is what it's like now.
Do you have cash?
Cash? I thought I could get a mortgage.
We are offering interest rates at 150% APR. Also, inflation is 300% per second.
Oh, it's been 10 seconds. The house is $600 million now.
But I've done everything right. I've cashed out my 401k. I stopped drinking iced coffee. I even canceled Netflix. I'm ready to be a homeowner.
Don't blame me for the market conditions I personally voted to create.
What?
You know what?
I personally voted to create.
house my cat.
But I pulled myself up by my bootstraps.
That guy looks poor. Yeah, whatever, kid. You should have been like Gen Z and made TikToks or something.
Your unhoused aura is high-key cringe.
I think how small it is.
I've finally saved enough to...
yeah.
There is no hell. There isn't.
Just
I've done thousands and thousands of cases. There is no hell.
That's
Hell is
low-key
an invention of the
cringe.
church, and you can see why. It was never in the Bible. It was never. Something has been invented. There is no hell. A loving God would not do that to people. You are allowed to make all the mistakes you want. You're allowed to come back and do it again and again till you get it right. They don't punish you just because you make a mistake and throw you into an oven. It doesn't work that way. You have to realize you have made mistakes. Earth is a school. But it's a school, you come here to learn lessons. But it's a school where you can't skip a grade, but you can have to repeat a grade. You don't get it right. You have to come back and do it again until you get it right. You can't go from kindergarten to college. It's impossible. You have to learn the lessons, and the lessons are not easy.
I've seen a lot of things from her. She's She's pretty wise lady. She's passed,
Those are not taught.
so I can't really
on
joke
other
about her
planets.
anymore.
This
But
is a very challenging planet. There is no hell.
I like that picture, eating people and shit.
Man in a Nazi uniform? Say it isn't so. This can't be. Arabs? In Nazi uniforms. What is going on?
You see that? See that cut on his cheek? They get that purposely in their academy during fencing. That's when you know that's a real officer. They got that scar on their face. They earned it by joining that association.
Germany. Now this is something that most historians will not tell you, and in Germany they try to paint it as if all of these different demographics.
Well, no, they did. They Arabs joined because Arabs, would hate the Jews. They had Japanese on their side, so there's Asians. All different versions of white, all throughout Europe were joining. So I wouldn't be surprised, a black guy in the ranks, or an Arab in the ranks, or an Asian in the ranks. You saw what happened if you didn't join.
People being systematically unalived.
But I can see that, and I also can see how they would whitewash it out to make history just fit one narrative.
Responsible for pulling the strings behind the curtain. People that you rarely see, but if you start to look at the last names, you will notice a pattern. Some people we're referring to here have been driven from 109 nations over 1,033 times for the same exact things over and over and over, adhering to very old Talmudic traditions that are quite frankly appalling to Christians or anyone with any sort of morality. Some people that we're referring to have traditionally and historically had a death grip on the economic institutions around the globe. They are the jewelers, the bankers, the loaners. They are the Jews.
The Jews, no. But it is like the Rothschild. It is the one percenters. They do own everything. It's not like a religion, but that's cool. I wish it was like that, because then I would get my money and I'd just sit back and be like, yep. But I don't have any money. Nope.
The sun
I wish.
can only be local in our atmosphere. And I'm going to explain why it's so important for you to understand this, that the sun, along with the earth, is in a symbiotic relationship with us, in communication with humanity on a cellular metabolic level. Okay, now this is why Rockefeller has demonized sunlight, saying that the sun is bad for you, as they have put in the textbooks that you read when you were in middle school, saying that the sun is a giant burning ball of gas that's 93 million miles away. You see, they want to get the importance of that solar orb as far away from you as possible. And it's the same core reason why they demonize anything like the sun, especially because it keeps bringing them back customers, believing that they need to buy into their Rockefeller medicines, Rockefeller solutions, and procedures. It's all lies to keep you away from nature, okay? Now, when the sun rises in the morning, as soon as it's coming up, there is no UV light. So the sun has three differentiated primary emanations of color. It has blue, red, and green. Okay, now here's the interesting thing about sunlight. The amount of blue light is always balanced by the same exact amount of red light. Okay, so what exactly does blue light fundamentally do when the sun rises and it enters into your retina? It stimulates your eyes and it increases something called reactive oxygen species. That's an anatomical process that your mitochondria makes in your RP. RP is a cell layer called retinal pigment epithelial cells to get this process going. This process creates natural inflammation in the eyes, and that inflammation changes the water flow in your eye through a gate called the aquaporin 4 gate pathway, abbreviated as AQP4 gateway or pathway. Now, this water flow in the eyes stretches between neurons and glial cells, and that's actually what wakes you up in the morning. Okay, now blue light activation actually turns your pituitary glands on in the morning so that you begin to release the anterior pituitary hormones, and that's what actually sets the circadian pacemaker rhythm for you in the morning time. Okay, so the key thing is that unopposed blue light has no balance. That means no red light at all. So if you're familiar with the Roman god Janus, Janus has a good face and a bad face, just like everything in our world of duality. We have masculine and feminine dichotomy structures that makes up the place that we live. So sunlight has the perfect balance of good and bad, all right? So around 8:30, 9 o'clock a.m., the UV light comes up. But however, the way that UV light manifests in the morning is that UV light cannot fully penetrate through the atmosphere because of its certain angle of incidence in the sky. So only at a certain time when the sun is approaching you in your perspective that this will activate this process. The sun has to have a certain angle in the atmosphere so that the ozone layer doesn't knock it back. And what does UV light do on the surface of our skin? It activates certain hormones that comes to the surface of our skin. Because what does full spectrum sunlight do for us? It actually releases another free radical on our skin called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a vasodilator, and it brings blood vessels to the surface of our epidermis. And therefore, the hormones from the anterior pituitary are electrostatically bound to red blood cells. What's on a red blood cell? You have something called DHA. DHA is also known as fish oil in the cell membrane, which is why taking krill oils and fish oils is so important for the body, especially the skin. You see, the oils have a ton of electrons in it, so the light interacts with our atoms by photoelectric effect. Photons hitting electrons, photoelectric.
Yeah, fish oil.
We are made
it's
of
good stuff.
light. The ultraviolet light turns off the amount of anterior pituitary hormones only at a certain precise time. So, if you look at the circadian biology of hormone release, you'll notice that testosterone peaks at 10 o'clock a.m. and then it declines after that. And that's because at approximately 10 a.m. to around noon, almost everywhere from 0 degrees latitude to 60 degrees latitude, ultraviolet light is present, depending on your location and the time of year on the flat map, which is why at certain times of the year, specifically like the winter time, we don't receive this ultraviolet light energy because the sun is a mobile canopy umbrella of sunlight that is moving around the flat realm. And this is the key. And this is why you always hear Yaqui Awakening always say that we should match our eating cycle with the cycle of the sun. We should match our patterns with the pattern movements of the sun. Ultraviolet sunlight specifically is the key to getting that nitric oxide up to the surface of our skin on the epidermis to allow this natural metabolic process to take place. Because your skin is translucent to light. Inside of a red blood cell, the two most common proteins are 1, hemoglobin, which has 4 main spikes, 1 in the UV range and 3 in the red range. And then there's another protein called porphyrins. And porphyrins absorb all parts of the UV spectrum. So guess what? Porphyrins are what allows ultraviolet light to be assimilated in our body. We are made of light. God is light. 1 John chapter 1, verse 5. The sun can only be local in our atmosphere. And I'm going to explain why.
That's pretty crazy right there. I don't know.
Himalayan salt might be petrified Nephilim giant meat. Look at that. That looks like beef.
I hear this one a lot.
Chopped beef. Look. This looks like the inside of someone's body. That looks like flesh. Okay? This is in the Himalayas, or the Himalayan salt mines. They're not exactly in the Himalayan mountains. It's like 180 miles out. Alexander the Great discovered this allegedly in 320 BC. But this looks like someone's body, the inside of someone's body, packed with all the nutrients and minerals that you need. Bro, in the Bible it talks about giants. The book of Enoch talks about titans, 400 foot tall giants walking around, and they got petrified. They got turned into stone. And the evidence of these people are all over. Hold on, I'll come back to this. Look at this guy, frozen in time. Huge titan, right here. This is one of the most well-preserved titans that are petrified.
I don't see it. It looks like a rock to me. Does anyone see it?
Petrified elephants. Look at that. That's an elephant. More faces. More faces in nature.
Right.
Sorry, this one's a little graphic, but they got petrified when they were doing petrified titans cuddling. Look at this Groot-looking dude.
I am Groot.
Look at that guy. Petrified giants.
Attack on Titan, right?
They put the truth right in their face. They're playing games, man. Himalayan salt. Himalayan salt. Salt from a man laying down. Bro's a laying. He's laying down. And you're getting salt from a petrified giant that's laying down. Now this is bacon. We all know what this is. This is bacon. More bacon right here. Okay? Look at this. Himalayan salt. This is flesh.
That's good.
This is bacon.
That's the kind of salt I use.
Bacon. It's the same thing. It's the same
The pink
exact
salt.
thing. You got the fat, you got the meat. So the Himalayan salt mines are right here. And the Himalayan mountains are in this little belt. This little sliver belt right here. So this is about 180 miles west of the actual Himalayan mountains. Okay? I have a whole playlist on my page just for giants.
Yep. Oh, yes. This one's not going to play then, right? Let's get out of the video here. So it goes sometimes. Man, that was pretty good though. That Himalayan salt could be a giant. I hear that one a lot, but you never know. It just tastes like salt though.
Himalayan salt might be petrified Nephilim giant meat. Look at that. That looks like beef.
Yeah, right? Himalayan salt.
What if I told you that Jesus came back in 70 AD with fervent heat and he caused places like the Grand Canyon and other forests in America to become petrified opal wood?
That's pretty cool though.
Proof that Jesus came back biblically. Go watch my other videos. This isn't that. But as you can see here, this wood has become crystallized opal. And if you ask how that happened, the process of that was when Jesus came back, the volcanoes all went off in the world. And we know this because Pompeii was right when we say Jesus came back, and that's the first recorded volcano in history. So when volcanic ash / silica, over time the groundwater dissolves into the silica and then it deposits it into the wood cells and then it replaces the organic material, forming opal. And before you don't believe me because it's AI, you can look on Google. I made sure to double check. It's actually legit, and that's what happens. So very clearly Jesus came back and the wood turned into opal because of the ash from the volcanoes. And then you have places like the Grand Canyon that look like this, right? All melted. And as you can see right here, this is an aerial view of the Grand Canyon. So not only did Jesus come back with volcanoes, he came back with lightning because he comes back with fervent heat, and fervent heat is lightning. And as you can see right here, this is what happens when lightning strikes and leaves an image. And then this is the human body when struck with lightning. And then this is wood struck with lightning. So clearly something biblical had to have happened in the Grand Canyon and Arizona and Utah for all those places to have that destruction and, crystallization. Because biblically, can anybody have an explanation for that? Especially if America wasn't found until the 1500s. All these stones were once buildings that got melted by fervent heat. And for those who are wondering about Tartaria and the mud flood and where this comes into play, the mud is not a mud flood. It's just volcanic ash mixing with rain, which makes mud. And the Tartarian buildings are just buildings from the millennial reign of Jesus, or they're just Roman buildings. But if you want to know about
Hummingbird of Nazca, you can find it among other...
Yeah, there's animals all over the place.
We will never know who made these beautiful formations. But this isn't what this video is about. It's about this 1,200-foot caliber, made of wood from a giant tree.
Yeah, look at that.
The calipers are used for woodworking. It gives accurate measurements. There were larger slabs of wood laying around. It had nail holes in it as well. This wood was over 2,000 feet long. And yes, it gets bigger and better.
Look at that big ass plank of wood.
This next piece of wood is almost 3,000 feet long with nail holes. It's called the Candor D Nazca.
That was definitely some giant shit there.
It's an old airport.
Tell me it's a 3-mile piece of wood.
Big people to
nails in it.
Over 6,000 feet of pure muscle. It had wood chips laying around everywhere. Was he a woodworker? Or maybe it was
Birthdays, you don't like birthdays?
No. We came here not knowing that we were gonna die. Somebody told us that. And if we never knew we were gonna die, we wouldn't celebrate a birthday.
Isn't it nice to celebrate the day you was born?
I'll celebrate the day I die.
Because you're going to move on to the next path in life. Birthdays, you don't like birthdays?
No. We came here not knowing that we...
Anybody murders something in the Capitol.
I remember the first time I watched the cool video too, Prince.
If somebody kills somebody in the Capitol, Washington, D.C., we're going to be seeking the death penalty. And that's a very strong...
How about like a guillotine?
Preventative.
In Washington Square or something like that, you know.
Agrees with it.
That'd be cool, right? Bring that shit back.
In this country. But where you have it, it is... we have no choice. So in D.C. and Washington, states are going to have to make their own decision. But if somebody kills somebody, like you could have been killed, very lucky you didn't get killed, it's the death penalty.
Like you could die.
Anybody murders something in the Capitol.
How was intimate hygiene in the Middle Ages? Baths were taken in a shared tub inside each house. The problem was that the water was reused, and the average number of baths was about once a year. Women washed their hair every 30 days, using soap made from caustic soda, and at that time, oily hair was considered healthy. Since toothpaste didn't exist back then, they used a paste made from aromatic herbs, and rinsing the mouth with urine was a relatively common habit to fight bad breath. Clothes were also washed only a few times a year, using a mix of caustic soda, river water, and urine. That's right, urine to wash clothes. Imagine the smell. People relieved themselves pretty much anywhere. Some places had waste boxes inside the house, and others used chamber pots, which they would then throw out the window. Brides had to carry a bouquet of flowers close to their body to mask the odor, and that's where the tradition of the bridal bouquet comes from. How was intimate hygiene in the Middle Ages?
Students across the country are posting images of what's on the menu at their schools in a new phenomenon called lunch shaming.
How is that milk? Cafeteria food has always been the butt of jokes, but this isn't
There's
funny.
some good stuff,
what they're giving us at lunch.
Students disgusted by what they're being served are taking their beef online.
Look at this. This is the main meal. It looks like puke and applesauce. Nasty.
In
Yeah. No better than McDonald's, you know. No, they have an answer for that one too. That doesn't really prove anything to the Flat Earth Society. They already say the way it rotates would show it that way as well.
You don't have back pain. You have trauma in your nervous system. Nervous system.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought my back was just hurting.
Every time you fall over, your body tenses up to brace for the impact. Every single tension and brace we have experienced through our lives is stored somewhere within our nervous system. If this tension is not released, it can manifest as a physical sensation such as back pain, joint aches, or even disease. This is because your body is an electrical energetic system. Before there are physical problems with your body, there are energetic problems in your field. If the energy is not flowing correctly, it will manifest in the body as a physical sensation. Matter is created by energy. Energy comes first. This is why yoga is so important. Yoga stretches out the nervous system and releases any energetic problems, allowing energy and electricity to flow freely. The church calls yoga demonic because they don't want you to understand your etheric body. You are not just a physical being. You have many different dimensions. There's so much more that goes into this. You don't have back pain. You have trauma in your nervous system.
Oh, yeah, let's do some yoga.
Imagine a 3-year-old boy being crowned king, and worse, growing up believing he was a living god. That was Charles the Young. He couldn't tell the difference between playing and ordering someone's death. From the start, he was treated like a deity. No one could say no. No one could correct him. Any scolding was seen as a royal offense. By age 5, he was already commanding soldiers. By 7, He gave orders like a 40-year-old ruler. But the most bizarre moment came when a servant tried to correct him. Something simple like, "You can't do that, Your Majesty." The boy snapped. He ordered the man to be thrown out the window. And the scariest part? The court obeyed. No one dared to defy the child king. After that, everyone pretended nothing had happened. Charles grew up believing his will was absolute law, and any disagreement was a crime. Medieval monarchy didn't raise kings. It created miniature gods, with a thirst for power and no limits. Imagine a 3-year-old boy being crowned.
Throw that kid out the window.
Listen up.
Throw me out a window.
For y'all today.
Oh, you got a window.
So the Feast of Trumpets, or Rosh Hashanah, is on September the 22nd through September the 24th this year. And we all know that it starts at the sliver of the new moon. But there's something really strange about all this. We know that the Feast of Trumpets, or Rosh Hashanah, starts at the sliver of the new moon. But get this, it will actually occur on September the 21st. And then following that event, you will begin to see the new moon sliver, which is the thin crescent of the waxing moon, on the evening of the following day, September the 22nd. But I find it odd that it's going to start on the 21st, because we know on the 21st of September is the International Day of Peace. Not only that, but there will be a partial solar eclipse that day as well. Not only that, but the days that they say the Feast of Trumpets is going to be, the United Nations will be holding a General Assembly and a two-state solution.